Hello and welcome to another tutorial with Media Sussex. This is looking at WordPress and WooCommerce. This is the second in what I envision to be a series of 3 tutorials just about how WooCommerce works and how it turns a WordPress website into an e-commerce website. In the last video we looked at how products work within WooCommerce, and in this video I want to show you how orders work. Very kindly, Daniel Lawrence has let us use his website as a basis on which to demonstrate this tutorial, so thanks Daniel Lawrence. Carrying on from our last video where we looked into the products section over here on the dashboard, and in this video we're going to be looking under this section here, which is WooCommerce, and under orders. These other sections we'll cover in a later video, but first of all it's important to understand how the orders work. So diving straight in then, you'll see I've created a demonstration order. You've got your order number here, your customer here, and their email address. So 3 bits there of information that actually link to various places. The order number will link directly to the order. The customer will link direct to that customer's username if they created an account. If you allow guest checkout, then this may not actually be a URL, it may just be text. And this obviously is their email address. If you click this, it will send a mail to email link. Here you've got the ship to address, which obviously if you click that, that'll I think link out to Google Maps. And it also tells you what shipping rate they've chosen at the checkout. Over here you've got the date the order was placed and the total, as well as how they checked out if you have various checkout options. Over here you've got 3 buttons now. I'll come to those in a minute. This is the order status. It's currently set at pending payment, which is the yellow timer. And the next one would be considered as processing or cancelled. Now let me show you and explain that a little bit more. If we overlook here, this is the product that we were playing around with in the products video. You'll see I've actually added this to the cart. So if I click view cart, you'll see here that's ready to go, and if I proceed to check out, I get some options. Now I've pre-filled in this information. This won't necessarily come up for new customers. It's also worth noting here, this is where you would add a coupon. Again, something we will come back to in a later video. This is where your payment options are. Again, this is something that will be managed in the settings of WooCommerce. We've only got PayPal active at the moment, but you can actually have multiple payment methods and allow the customer to choose. So this is a very handy tool to understand, but for now we've just left PayPal just to illustrate. Now remember, what we're looking at here is the order status. At this stage, this particular order is non-registered with your website. It won't be noticed at all. If you click proceed to PayPal, however, this order is registered on your system and it changes to pending payment. This simply means the order is set, the order is placed, but there has been no payment made for the order. The order will change from pending payment to either processing or cancelled, depending on if payment is received. Also, depending on the payment method that is selected, a different time frame will be allocated to the order. For example, if they select PayPal and the payment isn't received within, I think, 10 to 15 minutes, the order will be considered cancelled. Whereas, if you have enabled checks, for example, as a payment method, that will give you a substantially longer opportunity for a person to send in a check to your office. Therefore, this will not automatically go to cancelled until you manually decide that it has been. However, if a checkout is completed and a payment is made, it will automatically change from pending payment to processing. You may manually change it from pending payment to processing by using these buttons here. The first button means processing. It's a ... symbol. This is considered the next step of the order, so let's click that. You'll see that the symbol here has changed to ... now, and it's green. That means it's in processing. If now the order has been shipped, you're happy with the way it's gone, you can complete the order by clicking the tick. You'll see that changes to a blue tick. And this I is just simply the same as clicking the order number, which is to view the order. So this is what the order looks like to you. You'll notice here you've got the various details such as the date and time it was placed. This is the status, very similar to what we just looked at, pending payment, processing. You can set an order to go on hold, that's another status, cancelled, and of course you can set a refund. Failed is very rarely used, but you can also select that if you needed. Over here you've got the billing and shipping address. It's also worth noting that if a customer pays via PayPal automatically, a transaction number will also appear here for your reference, which is useful if you ever need to chase it up through PayPal. The customer IP address also registered. Over here you have the product that has been added to the order as well as the shipping rate that has been chosen. You can also send a refund by simply clicking this button, Order Notes. Let's just do a private note here. Hello. The private notes are grey. The public notes are maroony, sort of pale, purpley colour. And these get emailed out to the customer every time these are updated. So these are very useful if, for example, you wanted to add a tracking number. So we could say raw mail tracking and add a tracking number in there. That once added will appear here, but also will be emailed out to the customer. So that's very useful and very handy. It also keeps a log of when an order status is changed. You'll notice that since we changed it backwards and forwards, there's quite a few notes here, but often it won't be quite as long. Over here, this is the final bit that you need to understand. You've got the order actions. You can email an invoice or order details to a customer again. So if they didn't receive the email the first time round or they missed it, you can send that again and click that arrow. Resend new order notification. That goes to both yourself and the customer. And regenerate download permissions. That's where, if you remember from previously talking in the products area, this is how a customer would download a product that is downloadable. They would be given a unique link. This button just creates a new unique link for them. So we click update if we change anything, but that's essentially it. It's also worth noting that you can't change an order, content or shipping rate once it has been paid for. You'll see there this order is no longer editable. The only way that that would be able to be done is if you were to put it on hold or head it back to pending payment. Then you might be able to change some things, but generally speaking, if you've reached the processing stage, certainly if you've reached the completed stage, you wouldn't want to change any of the order details because this will just be for reference now anyway. So that's the orders. That's how the orders basically work. When a customer proceeds through the checkout, adds their details and then pays, that's when an order becomes processing. Until then, it will be held as awaiting payment, and if the payment isn't received, it will be cancelled. That's basically everything you need to know for orders. I hope it helps. In the next video, we're going to be looking at coupons, reports, settings, status, and the way in which WooCommerce works will be the next video. So please tune in and have a look at that, and do ask any questions in the comments and I'll do my best to get back to you. Thanks again for watching. Goodbye.